Is appointment setting saturated? This is one of the most commonly asked questions to me as someone who operates within the appointment setting space and sells different services within this industry, whether it be appointment setting coaching, or whether it be my AI outbound appointment setting agency, or my third agency um, that I run as well. So I operate only in the appointment setting space. Now, one of the questions that I get asked all the time is, Jawad, is appointment setting getting saturated? Are there too many people doing it? What is the market situation right now? And what I would say is, though it may seem like it's saturated, though it may seem from the inside itself as if there's so many people doing it, one thing you need to realize is just because a lot of people do something, it doesn't mean that it's hard to actually be successful in that industry. Let me give you an example. If you are a skilled carpenter and you are an expert at what you do, you will always have work to do. Similarly, if you are a clothing designer, think about how many clothing designers are in the world, and think about how much competition there is in designing clothing. Yet, you will find thousands of people doing it, and you'll still find hundreds of people every single month in the world of designing getting some type of role, some type of job, some type of project, whether it's through freelance, and they're getting hired. Now, the reason I'm mentioning this is because these examples will lay the foundation to understanding whether appointment setting is too saturated and whether you should do it or not if you're still on the fence. Here's the thing. I'm not going to deny that thousands of people are doing appointment setting. Just like thousands of people are doing door to door sales, thousands of people are doing insurance sales, thousands of people are doing car sales, it doesn't change the fact that there are people, hundreds of thousands of people every single month in all of these industries getting hired, getting jobs. And the biggest question is not whether appointment setting is saturated or not. The bigger question is, are you skilled enough in the skill of appointment setting to get hired? Because competition will always exist. I've been hearing how this industry is cooked, how this industry is going to go into the gutter. I heard this 4 years ago when barely anybody was actually doing it. Where like 4 or 5 years ago, now everybody, is jumping onto the high ticket sales, you know, train, I guess, if you want to call it that. But everybody's jumping onto this train. But I've been doing this for the last 5, 6 years. This is the only thing that I've used to make money in my life and make money online. And so I've been hearing this for years, but if I'm being honest, this industry's actually gotten better over the course of the last 4 or 5 years that I've been in the industry. Meaning, I've only seen roles get better, companies pay more, the compensation plans have gotten better. Let me give you an example. 4 or 5 years ago, in appointment setting, we never heard base pay. Base pay just didn't exist. Now there are solid roles where you can make $5,000, $6,000 USD per month and consistently make that. And there's also a $2,000 base pay, a $2,500 base pay. And base pays are becoming more and more and more normal. But that didn't exist. Now, I'm not saying all roles have a base pay, but what I am saying is this industry is going only better over the course of the last 4 or 5 years. And people said like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, it's cooked, it's gonna get worse. It's actually getting better. I don't know where people are living. Like people are living like under a rock. If you are skilled in the skill of appointment setting, you will always have food on the table. You will never run out of work. I haven't run out of work in the last 5 years. I have continuously paid my bills using this skill. And the biggest question is, are you skilled enough to land the roles? Are you skilled enough to actually be able to do the job? If you're skilled, you could have a million people competing for you and competing with you for a specific job, and you will always stand out. Why? Because you're more skilled. That's it. This idea of the industry is too saturated, too many people are doing it, but that's every industry. It's as if you're saying there's an industry where that isn't happening. That's happening in every industry. There's thousands of nurses, there's thousands of doctors, there's thousands of people. Yeah, there might be like a small niche within the field of medical, or within the medical industry or within medicine, where you can find, okay, there's this small little, niche where there isn't competition. But how many people actually have the smarts to actually get into that industry? And forget about getting into that industry, you got to first find the industry itself. There's competition in everything. But if you compare appointment setting and you compare it with all the other industries, it is the most beginner friendly. It is the one with the most upside if you're a beginner. It's the one where you could have zero experience and still land a job where you can make $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a month, and then work your way up to that $10,000 a month. And then the other thing to think about is compare that with high ticket sales itself, where the other role is high ticket closing. High ticket closing, you don't have a base pay. There's no base pay roles. I haven't heard of them. There might be like one in like 10 million that exists. So there's no base pay. It's harder to close deals. It's not beginner friendly. Companies want to hire people that have a track record. There's probably like 1% of the market actually hires someone who doesn't have high ticket closing experience. That's the situation that we're in. And so if you come and ask me, is appointment setting saturated? It might seem like that, but how many people within the industry are actually skilled enough to do the role of appointment setting? I would argue not a lot. I would argue there are very few people who actually know how to do the skill of appointment setting and can consistently hit their numbers and consistently hit KPIs and continuously retain a role. So if you just master the skill of appointment setting and you decide this is what I want to do, then guess what? You will make a good amount of money in this industry. Regardless of how saturated it gets, regardless of how many people are competing for a role, it doesn't matter. If you can stand out amongst the crowd and you can show someone that you can consistently hit the numbers, you can consistently do the work, and you just have hardworking grit, this industry is for people who are hardworking. It's not necessarily about smart work. The reason why I excel in this industry and why I love this industry is because it rewards hard workers, not necessarily smart workers. Yes, smarts are involved. Yes, you got to be smart to a certain extent, but 90% of the people that stay in this industry and survive this industry is hard workers. It's not smart workers. That's why I like this industry. This is why I love this industry. And this is why I tell people, if you're just a hard worker, this industry is perfect for you. I'm not the smartest individual when it comes to math, when it comes to science, when it comes to different things. But what I am and what I do know I am is a hard worker. And that's why I continuously get rewarded in this industry and why I've been able to stay in this industry for 5, 6 years now. Compared to other industries where I know really hardworking people. But guess what? Their hard work fails because they're not, smart. And that industry requires smart individuals. I love hardworking industries where all I have to do is do hard work and I'll be rewarded for it. So, to answer the question, yes, on the inside, appointment setting might be saturated, but if you're skilled, there's no reason that you would sit jobless. I've never sat jobless for more than 2 weeks. If I really wanted a role, all it takes is 2 weeks and I land a role. Why? Because I'm skilled. And when you have a system to land roles, you land roles like that. You just make the intention, you make the switch, you turn on the system, and boom, now you're in a role within 2 weeks, 3 weeks. But it all comes down to the fact that you have to move with speed, you have to move with tenacity, and you have to move with consistency. But the problem is, a lot of people, they're not hardworking. They're not willing to put in the work. They're not willing to do the hard work, and then they say, "Oh, appointment setting isn't working. It's too saturated. Too many people are doing it." But that's every industry. Where are you going to go where you don't have competition? Even if you started an online business, there's even more competition in starting an online business than there is in appointment setting. If you actually break it down, how many, for example, you decide, I want to start a lead gen agency. How many lead gen agencies exist? Probably millions. There's probably thousands that exist in just the North American market. Forget Europe, you know, forget Scandinavian countries, forget Europe, forget, Australia, New Zealand. If we just went to North America, there's probably thousands, if not at least a million. Just in Canada, America, and Mexico, there's probably a million lead gen agencies or lead gen agencies and marketing agencies. Same thing with web design. There's probably thousands of them. The competition in those industries is even more cutthroat. What do I mean by that? They will do anything to poach your clients. They will do anything to take your clients from you. These industries are even more cutthroat. They are even more competitive. And if you don't know how to fulfill clients within those marketplaces, you will get beaten out of the market like this. Like this. If you don't adapt to AI, constantly things are changing within these industries. The second you get complacent, boom, your entire market share gets taken away from you. I know this because my first agency was a social media management agency. As soon as cheaper options came into the market, we got blown out because companies realized we don't need to pay this Canadian company $1,500 a month because now a company from India will do the same thing for $500 a month. And we got blown out. And keep in mind, $1,500 a month is not a lot comparatively to what these companies are making. They're making, you know, $50,000, $100,000 a month. And we were just providing a $1,500 service. But the second they realized that companies in India are willing to do it for $500 a month, they jump ship right away. And we weren't able to adjust to the market. And then we decided, okay, we're just going to stop doing this. And we decided to go different routes as partners. And as we were deciding to do that, we got lucky and somebody decided to pay us, and it was a whole different situation, and then we technically made an exit out of a bad situation and made money out of that exit. But the idea is that those industries are even more cutthroat. They will eat you alive if it comes to it. They will take all your clients and you'll have nothing left. Why? Because you'll have people that are beating you on price, people beating you on the quality of work, and that competition is even more cutthroat. And it's easy to say, "Oh no, I'm gonna do it. I'll outlast them." It's gonna be the battle of attrition. Yes, the battle of attrition is a real thing. If you stay in a market long enough, you will come out victorious. You will come out at the top. But the biggest question is, do you have the ability to stand the fight of attrition? Most of you don't. So what I suggest is you learn a high ticket income skill like appointment setting, and Yes, there will be competition in the market. There will always be competition in every market, but it's better to be in an industry where you know that you will find a role when you need to, rather than being in an industry where you struggle, you have no idea, okay, whether you'll be able to land a client or not, or what will happen, and then you'll get beaten out and have to end up doing a job where at the end, after a year, you get fired for no reason, and you're left stranded, and now you're jobless for another 6 months, and you don't have a high income skills, nobody's actually hiring you, and you're just in a limbo. Again, I've never been jobless for more than like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, because I have a high ticket income skill. Now, if you want to learn the skill of appointment setting, 100%, I have a free community in the description. It's the first link in the description. Join my free community. Again, it's free to join the community, and there's free courses in there, there's free master classes in there, and you can start learning the skill for yourself. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.